hell.
Here we are in Anaheim.
We don't want some police oversight that has no teeth. We don't want that. We want a police oversight with subpoena power. We want our voice to be heard. And if you care about our community, you would too. You would listen to what I'm saying about each and every one of these officers on this list. I mean, that's a whole lot of people that are murderers. I mean, I'm sure there's some that I missed that killed people, but these ones right here, these ones are murderers. And you all know it too. Well, this is called
appeal, Ninth Circuit, is going to get turned down. Every single one of you guys out there are killers. You are killing our families. You are killing the poor. You are killing the homeless. But you know what? Your time's up. Change is coming. At the trial, your lawyers told the jurors that my nephew was faking that he can't breathe because the simple reason is that he was saying he can't breathe. They lied. You guys are liars. But the jurors didn't go for it. 13.2 billion, the most in history. And you know what? The Ninth Circuit appeal is going to get turned down. And everyone in the world knows that you guys are murderers. How can you sit there with your fucking hands in your pockets, all brave and all ready to kill us? You're going to be arrested if you come over across those barriers. We're going to fucking arrest you. It's been a long time that you guys have been getting away with murder, but you know what? The world knows now, and things are going to change. So you might as well go work at McDonald's. Or better yet, because I'm a hairdresser, I went to school for 1,600 hours. You fuckers don't even go to school that long. So maybe, just maybe, you can become barbers. Because you're all high and mighty, and pride is keeping you there being a police officer. Nobody respects you guys. You're not here to serve and protect. You're here to serve and protect one another. And a lot of people say there are good cops. Where are the fuck are they?
Don't exist.
If they're here, come over on our side.
Put your back
Okay? Tell on Daniel Wolf, Wu Jianju, and Sergeant Daniel Gonzalez that gave instructions to Daniel Wolf on how to use a chokehold on my nephew. He didn't even know what he was doing. But he thought he was all fine and mighty. I gave him that name, Mighty Mouse. Little shit. He thought he was all fucking, I'm strong, I'm choking out this guy. Because he's a bad, bad man. Yeah, turn your backs. Turn your backs because you can't, you don't even want to hear the truth. But the world is hearing the truth.
Yes, ma'am.
Anaheim Police Department are killer cops. The city of Anaheim is not safe. The community is not safe. You get confronted by these cops, they will take you out. I was raised here in Anaheim. Thank God I don't live in Anaheim anymore. My kids didn't have to grow up with these corrupted cops. Shame on you. Shame on you that you guys are in solidarity for these murderer partners of yours. Things are changing. Get ready. Get ready. And don't ever forget who I am, because I'm going to keep fighting as long as I can for my nephew.
Yes, ma'am.
My name is Marie Kofinko, and I am my nephew's aunt. And don't ever forget that. You guys get to go home tonight with your wives or your husbands and your kids, and to all the other crime that you guys commit later on, moonlighting. We know what crimes you commit. There's drug addicts over there, I see. Pedophilers over there. Wife beaters. You all have that going on. But thinking that the badge and that suit is going to keep protecting you. You guys are wicked and evil and criminals with a badge.
We're here today in solidarity with George Floyd. We are here in solidarity with all of the murders that have happened all across the United States by police. Police departments are terrorists. Police officers are terrorizing our communities and getting away with murder. In this community in Anaheim, there are multiple repeat offending officers that are working and patrolling these streets today. Many members of the community and families of the people who have had their lives stolen have been pushing up against the local government, the police department, trying to get justice through the system for fucking years. We have been gaslighted. We have been labeled extremists. We have been labeled reactionaries. We have been set aside from the main issues in Anaheim. Many years have gone by where we have went to our local governments, we went to the city councils, we brought these issues to the city council, we brought these issues to the police oversight. Nothing fucking happens. These officers are still working. Nick Benelli has killed his fourth person and is still employed by the Anaheim Police Department and moonlights with North County SWAT team. He is a murderer. He is a murderer, and a federal court jury found him guilty of excessive force that resulted in a death. Yet, the Anaheim Police Department chose to keep him on payroll. This is unacceptable. These officers that are listed right here are liabilities. They are liabilities for this community and for anybody that passes through this community. They are liabilities for the city of Anaheim because these officers are going to cost the city of Anaheim millions of fucking dollars, and lives are going to be lost. So when you guys come up to me and you ask me what you can do to help facilitate and help us get our message out, I say, quit your fucking job, take that uniform off, stand with us as a civilian, stand up against the other cops that you know are murderers and who are corrupt. Otherwise, you're all just fucking cowards to me. Cowards who continually shoot people in the back. I'm going to say a few names. I'm going to say some names of the people that have been killed in this city. The community will never rest and never trust you unless there is accountability for these lives lost. Money is not accountability. Cesar Cruz, David Raya, Roscoe Cambridge, Justin Hurdle, Joe Whitehouse, Bernie Gustavo Najera, Vince Valenzuela, Brian Drummond, Peter Montaigne, Elliot Nava, Steen Parker, Renee Garcia, Robert Moreno, Marcel Ceja, Tavante Emmanuel, who was killed recently on December 12th of last year.
Daniel Ramirez.
I'm just listing these names right now of the people that are killed in Anaheim. These are people that we've been fighting for a very long time. And the list keeps on getting longer and longer. Because these officers on this list have not been held accountable. Again, we're here for George Floyd and solidarity. Solidarity because this community can relate with what's going on and understand the racial issues and the murdering cops in their community, because we have them too. We have what they have, and this is a problem that crosses all across the fucking nation. Strong communities make police and politicians obsolete. Our message today is abolish the police.
Yes, ma'am.
If that is too much of a demand for people to grasp, then at least let's fucking fire the cops who are working in this department, who have gone through trial, and this city has paid money to their victims' families. How's that for a fucking start? This is a people's mic, an open mic. Please feel free to speak.
I got something to say about one of your own. I'm pretty sure you guys been around Officer Steve Nolan. He saw something tragically twice with some of his partners. And he went to court and he won. What really got me was, I asked him why he said what he did against his fellow partners. He said he couldn't sleep at night. I got 44 years in here watching, I don't know who, I can't see you guys close enough, but I don't think you guys are it. Back in the 80s and late 70s, beating on young kids in corners of houses and alleys. But this officer stuck up, and what happened? It can happen to you. You got fired. I can't believe it. His partners were not allowed to speak. When I was in the courtroom, he begged them to tell the truth. And if some of you know that trial, it was a circus. A lot of stuff not right in there. But I just wanted to say to you, every time we saw that we tried to make something peace, these neighbors got attacked. And a lot of the officers that were speaking to tell us that this didn't happen, like Officer John Kelly, he was one of the persons that came to our community to say that there was no police brutality going on, and later he's the guy that beat up that kid and Jeffrey Lynn and found guilty. So your brass supports that. Somebody got off the wrong foot, and we had, instead of us trying to work together, when I caught the officers myself beating on these kids, I asked them if they wanted to complain. And those kids said they weren't going to tell on you. They said they won't do it. They're afraid of you going back and getting them. And most of those kids say that some of those officers said they're going to kill them. The Jose Campos case. It was one of your own. It was an Anaheim cop. And then they got scared when they said that. The family moved to Santa Ana. The officer transferred to Santa Ana. What did he do? He killed them. And there was witnesses that I spoke to. They saw what happened. They just pay the family some money and everything's over. The Santa Ana officers, your fellow officers, we had the quilt. We were at Santa Ana Courthouse showing this quilt. Some of you guys, not you, but some of the officers out there were using their lasers on my family and friends. I was sitting there watching it. That was what we got, and I could hear them laughing. So all lives matter to me, even yours. Because you're going to end up someday, if you do have a heart, be careful. They're going to get you. But we're not working together. I don't know why. I don't know why you guys have your brass doesn't want you to work with the community. I don't know what to say anymore. It's just every time I turn around, you're beating somebody up. And you're threatening these kids.
That's what we want! Stop shooting at
We
our
know that
people.
that's what happens. We know. Some of them back in the days used to hog tie, not you, maybe some of them, but they used to hog tie them, 6 or 7 officers, take them to an alley, and get your drop gun, your throwaway gun, and shoot them. I've seen it all, and I heard it all, and that's sad. How could you have the guts to do that? Who makes you do that?
Because they can get away with it.
So I don't know whose side the brass is, who's your bosses, but most of the bosses have criminal backgrounds. Every time I talk to somebody, I know them, and I said, that guy shouldn't be there. I got assaulted by a cop who saw me at a neighborhood meeting. When he saw me at a fire, he started hitting me. I didn't even file the complaint. The chief, your chief filed the complaint for me, and people went and told. I still don't know the officer's name, and I really didn't care. But I didn't like it when he told a couple, when he grabbed me again and shoved me, they told him, this old couple, you can't do that. He said, shut the fuck up or I'll do it to you too. That hurt me. So that's one of your officers. And then I found out he got promoted for hitting me. Maybe you guys don't know, but that's what goes on.
They know! They know! They don't care!
They know all
They
of it.
shoot people in the back!
So I don't know what to do from here because I watch every day. I'm in the streets helping kids. I don't know what to say to you guys. Just, you guys are going to do what you do because you're told to do it. I know that. I saw how your bosses tell you. And I was part of that inside with you guys. I was part of that inside. I know what's going on. Steve Nolan, you guys should get back Steve Nolan, tell him to come back. He's even getting death threats over there. I read his reports in the office. I got the documents that are inside this office. And you should hear some of the things that they were saying to him and how they treated him. They belittled him. And his union fired him. So be careful. You should guys say something at least about that. You know, that guy cried. Took away his job he loved. The only officer that opened up his mouth, and what did he get? He got fired. I opened my mouth because I work for the city myself. Just for something I saw wrong. I got fired. And it's not you, but back in those days, you used to come and follow me. I already talked to some of your captains. A lot of you guys already confessed to me what's gone on with me. So I know what's going on. I really don't care about me. I just care for these kids, our youth. If that's what makes you the dollar, then yeah, you're not going to stop. We'll be working. We'll be working. We'll be working at the meetings. We need to go. We need to be involved. Can't stop. That's all I can tell you right now.
No, I can't. I don't want to talk to the pigs that killed my husband and shot him 6 times in the back. Unarmed! Unarmed! You shot Taviante Emmanuel! December 9, 2019! Right here on East in Lincoln! Oh, first he is breaking into his own apartment. Then it's domestic violence. Then he supposedly got my weapon. We see on the camera, no weapon. You shoot him 6 times and then detain him. Instead of taking them to over here on La Palma, you take them all the way to City of Orange! You let my husband die! And you treated him like a fucking animal! Fuck all you fucking pieces of shit! Fucking bastards! You all deserve to die! Die! And I'm not talking about easy death, I'm talking about Texas chain massacre style, bitch! Anybody next? I'm done. You won't get away with killing mine!
I want everybody here to remember something. Each and every one of these guys right here are public employees. They are supposed to work for us, not the other way around. Our tax dollars fund you. We fund your paychecks. You live your life because we fund your paychecks. And so what do? What do? You kill a bunch of unarmed people in Anaheim. See, we don't make the news here because of Disney. We don't make the news, and that's just what it is. But you guys are murderers, period, point blank. Not one of you guys is respectable. Not one. Not the cops in the station, not the cops in the car, not y'all, not the cops at home. Not one of you guys is respectable at all. You guys should be ashamed of yourselves. For real. Ashamed of yourselves. You guys feel hard right there because you have a badge, because you have a gun. For a bunch of people that don't have no weapons. Y'all feel hard, huh? I saw some of y'all laughing earlier because this is a game apparently. Because people up here that are expressing their hurt because you killed their husbands, it's a game apparently to y'all. But y'all work for us. Don't forget that. Y'all are supposed to work for us, not the other way around. All cops are bastards, period. Period. If you want to be a good cop, come over here and put your badge down. Put your badge down and come over here. Otherwise, you're nothing. You're sick. For real, you're sick. It trips me out. You guys are sick, for real. How can y'all sit there with a straight face and look at women up here that are telling y'all killed their husband unarmed? That don't faze you? Y'all don't have families? That don't faze you? For real. How can y'all sit there and look at us like we're crazy? Like we're doing something wrong? We got a brown cop right there. His skin's almost as dark as mine. That's crazy. And you think they care about you, huh? They don't. They don't. We got another brown cop over there. They don't care about you either, little one. I know. I know. Look, you're so separated from them, bro. Why? You're ashamed, aren't you? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You are ashamed, aren't you? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, oh, so you're going to go stand by them now, huh? You're embarrassed, huh? You're embarrassed because I called you out, huh? These people got families, and y'all took some of them. But y'all got to go home to your families, huh? And feed them with the paychecks that we fund, huh? That's crazy. Y'all are public employees. Y'all work for us. Don't get that twisted. Y'all are murderers. All cops are bastards. Each and every one of you. If you want to be a good cop, like I said, put your badge down and come over here. Otherwise, you ain't got no respect, and you're a bastard, period. And look, they don't even have the respect to listen to us. Look at that, having their little conversations. Are y'all questioning him now because he was standing so separated from y'all? That's crazy. Look at that. Are you reassuring them that you're on their side? Look at the smirks. Look at the smirks. That's crazy. Look at these smirks.
Look at the ones that are R.Joshua over in the corner like they are.
I'm saying, look at them. You're all criminals. That's crazy. You're all criminals for real. Each and every one of you is worse than each and every one of us over here. Not one of us has ever killed somebody. How many people y'all kill? Anaheim PD is one of the most violent PDs in America, period. But we don't make the news because of Disneyland. No, we don't. But we know, the citizens know, because we deal with it every day. Shame. Shame. Like, are any of y'all Christian? Y'all believe in God? You ain't doing God's work, let me tell you that. He ain't proud of you, let me tell you that.
God don't deny them.
All I'm gonna say is y'all got somewhere to go, for real. When your time is up, you gonna. At the end of the day, it's between you and who you pray to. And it ain't gonna be good on y'all. It really ain't. And anybody here that's saying, oh, well, they're just doing their job, fuck that. A lot of people were just doing their job. That ain't no justification at all. That's crazy. Look at y'all. Armed up, ready. For what? Because people are speaking their minds on y'all. That's all it is. We got people over here hurting because you took their families. People over here that are heartbroken still because they still want justice to this day and haven't gotten it. Haven't gotten it because y'all want to choke out people. Y'all want to shoot people in the back like a coward. Period. Like a coward. Y'all should be embarrassed to be cops. Embarrassed. Y'all are embarrassing to the city of Anaheim, let me tell you that. We don't support y'all. Nobody in this city supports you. We don't. Fuck 12.
My name is Donna, but I think you guys all know me. Do you remember my son, Joel Acevedo, killed by Kelly Thomas? Do you remember that he was beaten and handcuffed and then shot in the back of the head? Do you remember that? Do you remember when kids were filming from upstairs and they got light shined on them? Do you remember the entire neighborhood being harassed by the police every single day since that night and even before that happened? And do you remember coming to my house the day after? You know, when the family's there mourning and you send your cops there to demand to know who my other children are? You remember that? I do. I mean, who does that? You know, after you kill our family, you know what a lot of people don't talk about is what happens to the family afterwards. I couldn't live in my home anymore, so I moved to my mom's. So guess who drove past my house, parked at the corner every single day, had their helicopter hovering above the house almost every night, followed me with the helicopter? Who gave me a ticket for impeding traffic? It was the officer that killed my son. Why is he following me, giving me a ticket for impeding traffic? And then the neighborhood comes out to complain that he's doing that, and they send 19 officers, the gang unit, in the helicopter because I got a ticket for impeding traffic. And then when I leave, one of the officers goes and kicks over the memorial and breaks the little statues there that those children put there, the witnesses of seeing my son being murdered. And you know, and that didn't stop, and I didn't go away. So here we are, you know, fighting for this little dumb police oversight that's worth shit. And you know, I'm leaving a council meeting, and your cops follow me while I'm driving at night, shining their light in my face as I'm driving. Do you know how many complaints? Oh, you need to do a written complaint. Okay, I've written so many complaints with letters saying, well, they did nothing wrong. It's within policy. There's nothing in the policy. You know, I'm tired of this. You know, we've been protesting. I've been protesting here since my son was killed. Some of these people have been here for years before that. The officer that killed my son killed Teresa Smith's son too, in the parking lot of Walmart. He was executed. He was still in his car with the seatbelt on. You know, I've lived in Anaheim my entire life. Like, I'd walk through here to go to Anaheim High School. You know, like, I know all the cracks in the city, it seems like. But, you know, I drive around and it's like, you know, this alley right here? Peter Montaigne, legally blind, mentally ill, in a crisis. That's the last thing he saw. We walked through this alley to get here. That's the last thing his legally blind eyes saw before your officers killed him. Like, everywhere I go, like, oh, Barry King was killed on Brookhurst. How many bullets did you guys pump into to him? Did it take more than 40 to get him dead? Now you're paying attention, huh? You know, and then we go out to protest, and then your officers mock us. Like this, you know, murder is funny. Maybe to you because you got away with it. And maybe one of you thinks you're a good cop, but what do you know about the guy standing right next to you that you're not going to talk about?
I'd just like to say I'm definitely broken over this whole situation with George Floyd. I've been very broken over the situation among the homeless population. As a lot of you know, I've worked to defend the rights of the homeless for years out here and in other cities as well. I can't believe that an officer could go to a homeless woman and take her property and throw away her property when she's about 6 years old and has medical conditions. That's the kind of stuff I've seen here in Anaheim. I think as a man, I'm called to defend the weak. And are you doing that? Ask yourself that every day. Are you defending the weak? Are you oppressing them? And that's something that, as a man, I couldn't look myself in the mirror if I was attacking weak women, older women, especially if I killed somebody that, you know, didn't need to be killed, obviously. How as a man can you look at yourself in the mirror in the morning? It's just, it breaks my heart to even hear about some of these stories. And, you know, I want to encourage you to remember, you know, we're all going to reap what we sow. There's a judgment day coming for everybody. There's a real hell, there's a real heaven. Jesus died for us. He calls us to live for him. Ask yourself, am I living for Yeshua the Messiah, or am I living for the other one? You know, the other one that comes to kill, steal, and destroy. That's what Satan comes to do. So in your life, every single day, ask yourself, am I killing, am I stealing, am I destroying? Am I lying? Right? Satan is the father of lies. Am I lying? What are you doing in your life? Examine it. And if your job causes you to follow the evil one, the wicked one, leave your job, man. You know, I had to leave my job to do the work that I do today. I used to be a math teacher. And when God called me, he said, you know, you got to put that math teaching down and serve me, live on the streets with the homeless over 10 years, what I had to do. And it was worth it. So there's no excuse to me if someone says, oh, it's my job. I don't care. God doesn't care about that. He cares about doing his will. And if it's about money, he can provide whatever you need. So you can't say, I can't serve God. You know, you got to make, that's between man, every man has to make that decision in their life. Am I going to serve the King of Kings or the wicked one? And Disney is not, should not be your God. Disneyland and whatever they're about, you know, does Disney really care about all these people, all the homeless on the street when they got millions and millions of dollars and they let these people live on the street like that? It's just pitiful. It's really pitiful. And God says he's going to definitely destroy the wicked, you know, so get on his side before it's too late. I mean, I don't even know. Sometimes I wonder, is there hope for some officers that do these things? Could they ever change? Maybe they could never change. I don't know. But my hope is that people could change. And I pray for change every day. But I think that the change is going to come to people like this out here on the streets. I don't expect it from the people on the top to be fighting the change so much. A lot of times you guys are the ones going to be resisting the change, but it's coming regardless. Because God doesn't like ugly, that's for sure, I know that. So with that, anyone else want to talk?
Hi, I'm Dr. Gonzalez. I was born and raised on these streets. I came here from Los Angeles because this is my community. And I wanted to share the statement that we as physicians put across the nation. Our communities are hurting, watching people who look like them get murdered in broad daylight with little repercussions for their perpetrators. They are also affected by the social determinants of health that adverse their impact their well-being, lower their quality of life, and shorten their lifespan. During this pandemic, we see African Americans disproportionately affected by COVID-19. Systemic racism is a public health issue. It is a public health crisis. It is clear that fundamental change to our society's institutions are desperately needed to correct the entrenched biases. Real structural reform is necessary in our laws, our healthcare system, our justice system, our schools. We need to question if the resources going into policing institutions might be better spent on the public, on other public services that would actually help people. As we fight for accountability and fundamental change, there are ways for us to get involved. We have to educate ourselves. We have to leverage our power and our privilege. We have to use every platform. We have to intervene when you can. We have to sign petitions. We have to participate in demonstrations. We have to contact our elected officials, and we have to speak to everybody about these issues. We have to be vocal. We have to be vocal. And most importantly, we have to organize. Anything you can do to dismantle this system. Last, before I leave the mic, I just want to say, we have to be comfortable saying Black Lives Matter. We cannot be shy about saying Black Lives Matter. We are here because we know that our society does not value Black lives. And we will stand until we know, we are sure that Black Lives Matter. That's all I got.
All right, so let's talk about what is the function of the police. Okay, so everyone has some misconceptions of what the function of the police is. The function of the police is not to protect the law. It is to uphold protection of private property. What do I mean by this? Well, you have to go get some historical context for this. Originally, police in this country were slave catchers. So that is exactly the function of the police, to ensure the protection of private property. It's not for the safety of citizens. That's just window dressing that you give to the rubes and to, you know, idiot, smug liberals and conservatives. Everyone knows that's the real function of the police. And you can see that with how much funding is given to the police, such as in Los Angeles, where private developers at an alarming rate are gentrifying that area, and it's being bought out by, you know, private landed interest elites. So in that case, what happens to all the poor people that live there, the people that are being kicked out of their homes? Well, you have to control them. You have to make sure that they don't touch these $3,000 to $4,000, month condos and lots. So in order to do that, you have to militarize the police. So essentially, what's happening to this country is that as more and more people start to become poor, there has to be a bigger need for the elites to arm the cops in order to make sure that their private property is maintained and protected. That's also the reason why you didn't see any of Trump's, towers and buildings and hotels get ransacked, because there's no way that the elites are going to allow one of their own to get their stuff smashed. You could smash stuff like Target and some other corporation that has insurance, stuff like that, but us, the common people, we are not allowed to touch these types of buildings and stuff like that. So what I'm trying to say is that this police state essentially shows what the United States and many other countries around the world of what their interest is, which is capital and private property over human life. Your life only matters depending on how much private property and human capital you can accumulate as a human being. If you have none of that, or you have very little, then you matter very little to these people over here. So that is their job. That is their function. Ultimately, to protect private property. Nothing else matters. And the reason why, and now it's starting to make sense to me. I was actually starting to think, why is Anaheim, a city of 300,000 people, probably not even on the top 10 of the largest cities in California, has one of the highest police murder rates? And then I just realized, fucking Disneyland. Your job is to maintain the image of Disneyland. That's it. To maintain their property values and to make sure that Bob Eisner or whoever the hell is in charge now of the Disney Corporation, they can be accountable to their stockholders. So that's all you are. You're just basically glorified mercenaries that we, unfortunately, in this police state, are forced to give our taxpayer money to. That's all you are, and that's all you ever will be. You don't have any other function. You get out of your mind that you're here to protect the private, the good citizens of Anaheim or anywhere else in this country. You're just here to protect private property of the landed elite. That's it. That's it. Thank you.
Hi everybody. If y'all want to make this better, get the police chief out here, get the association president, talk to the grieving mothers and family members of this family, and let's settle this right now. Talk to them right now. Y'all want to be in coalition with the citizens and with the residents? Let's have a conversation right now. If you guys are down. Let's get the police chief out here. What's his name?
Mickey Mouse.
Cisneros, right?
It's Mickey Mouse.
Yeah.
Let's call him Mickey.
President of the association. What's his name?
Walt Disney.
Get him out here. Let's talk. Let's talk. Talk to the families. They're here. Around 10 families here. Let's get the police chief out here. Let's get the president of the association, and we'll talk. And we can go from there. Until then, there's going to be no justice and there's going to be no peace. All right? That's all I got to say.
I want to remind you guys of Vincent Valenzuela. And if I can recall right, that first officer standing right there with both hands on his pocket was a role model to my son. He even has a picture of him. His name after his father, Vincent Valenzuela. And I'm sure you can remember him. He was part of your cadet program, and none of you ever reached out to my son to see how he was doing after 3 of your officers choked his father to death after not committing a crime and not being armed. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, and I know that's you. You remember my son, Vincent Valenzuela. How can you sit there and be a role model to other children when you're covering up for your murdering co-workers? You should be ashamed of yourself.
You should come and say sorry to his son. His son's here.
I know that's you. That's why you're ignoring us.
Come here and say sorry to him.
My son has a picture with you. He looked up to you. He looked up to you. You right there. You should be ashamed of yourself. 2 weeks after he graduated from his cadet program, the people that he looked up to murdered his father. How can you do that? How can you walk every day? How can you be like that with your conscience every day, knowing that your co-workers are guilty and so are you because you're covering up for them? Stop your cadet program. You're nothing but hypocrites.
I just wanted to say one more thing. I know there is requests for the chief to come out and talk to the mothers and to the families who have lost a loved one. And let me just remind, let me just remind everybody here that has happened many, many, many times before. The chief has came out to talk to the families. The mayors have came out to talk to the communities. They don't care. They don't care. They don't care. These are tone-setting techniques that they use to make sure that everybody is calmed down. I remember in 2013, I think it was, City of Anaheim calmed the mothers down. There was a group of about 10 mothers in this community who wanted accountability for their children's murders, who wanted information. City of Anaheim hired an outside independent review board to come in and calm the mothers down, to reassure them that they would look into it and that they would do something for them.
It's the guy they hired, independent.
The whole thing was bullshit. Again, the mothers' hearts were broken. They were overwhelmed with disappointment by the results, by not getting accountability, not getting answers. So when somebody requests to have the chief come out and talk to the mothers, or to have the mayor meet behind closed doors with the mothers, or to have any of the officers meet behind closed doors with the mothers, their intentions are to quiet the community down. They want to give the impression that they are doing something, that there is going to be justice and that accountability will be had. We've learned in the city of Anaheim that that is just not true. It's not true. The city council members have no power to do anything. The only power there is your union. And that's where we're coming after. That's where we're at this point.
It's going to be in every city in this country. So
your union protects you even though you guys are murderers. So going to the city council and demanding and begging them to do something is like fucking spitting in the wind. It's like a dog chasing its tail. No city council member is going to throw away their seat on the city council to stand up to the police union. Not in this city anyways, and that's what I've learned over the years.
If they do, they'll be harassed.
No city council member has been or is willing to give their seat up and stand with the community and face the police union. So until they're ready to do that, and until we actually see them doing that, there's no trust in the city council, the local governments, at all. Strong communities make police and politicians obsolete. Period.
Also, Vincent Valenzuela, the family went to city council. I was there, and when they left, they were followed home. When they asked us, what should we do? We'll go to your city council, talk to the mayor. Mayor Ton Tate was told, he said he would do something about it. And all the other mothers, when they went to ask a question, they asked for some answers. Just like nobody told them nothing. We were just left silent. That's not fair. All lives matter. So I just want you to know that. If you guys didn't know, some of your brass and your staff doesn't allow us to have our voice. I got 44 years, I probably got on everybody here, and your staff and everybody won't even talk to me. And I come with an open hand, and I ended up with a knife in my back. And some of your own people talked and told me. Some of your own brass. They're inside, they want to tell, they want to say something. And they did speak to me, and they told me a lot of stuff. So you can't blind me anymore, but you can blind others, but you won't blind me. And I'm still willing to work with my community and help these kids. Just like the Reverend said, God only knows what's going to happen.
I know that makes me nervous. That makes me more nervous. Go have some donuts. Go have some donuts.
One thing I wanted to also share, think about the time in Nazi Germany when they were, of course, gassing all the Jews. Just because something is legal doesn't make it right. In the course of history, many times things were legal, like slavery, but it wasn't right. So, I guess the question is, when the city council passes a law that says, hey, take the homeless people's property, don't allow them to camp on the sidewalk. That's what happened in Anaheim. That wasn't right. Yet a lot of police followed that command, took homeless people's property. Eventually the city got sued. Many homeless people suffered under the oppression of the city council who passed these laws. So when you look at your job, just look close. Is this the right thing to do according to God? Because if not, you're going to be very humiliated when you disobey God, when you hurt other people, when you rob other people. The city of Anaheim robbed so many homeless people of their property. Year after year after year. I videotaped it. Made complaints. Connected homeless people with attorneys year after year after year. Edgar Hampton, the head of the police union, was one of the greatest attackers of the homeless years ago. Is that the role model that we have for the police department? I hope not.
He's president of the police union.
Exactly. Yeah. President of the police union, maybe I said it wrong. Bottom line is, how did he get so high in the ranks? He's a shame to the department. And I used to talk to him all the time in a very serious tone. What are you doing? Why are you harassing these people? He doesn't care about people. He cares about whatever the city council tells him to do, even if it hurts people. Even if it tells you to rob. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be willing to kill people. If you're willing to take a homeless woman's property that's 60 years old, that has her medication and all that in there, what to say that you wouldn't kill that woman if the city council told you to do it? The city council passed a law that said, kill all the homeless people. We don't want them on the streets. Kill them. Lock them up. Maybe put them in a gas chamber or whatever. Wood chipper. Yeah. How do I know that you guys aren't going to obey that law? That's terrifying. And you know what? There's a lot of young people, lots of young people that don't trust the police anymore because of what they're seeing on TV day after day after day. They don't trust the police. So if you're an officer, man, don't be afraid to call out your fellow officer if he's doing something dirty. If you want to be a hero in a sense, you got to be willing to take that stand and lose your job if you have to call out your boss, whoever it is that's doing something shady. Protect the people. That's right, have some courage. You know, I had to fight from the street. Like I said, I was a math teacher. I had to live on the street with the homeless, and then I had to fight for the homeless from the street. That's what I had to do. And I was fighting the police department on the street. Cops coming into the park day after day, code enforcement coming in, taking people's property day after day, year after year, harassing the homeless. I went through that right here in Anaheim. City of kindness, that's what the Mayor Tate said it was. City of kindness. You know, some of the most hateful actions I'd ever seen. So shameful. And it took lawsuits to bring change. It wasn't like the city council said, oh, what, you know what, we're doing something wrong. It wasn't that. No, the city council and the city of Anaheim got sued, and that's what brought the change. You know, why does it take a lawsuit to help people understand you shouldn't rob the homeless or maybe kill somebody that's in handcuffs? This is inexcusable. So that I hate to have to come to this mic. I hate to have to come out here in a sense to maybe ruffle some feathers. You know, all of us, I think, really would like to just be able to have peace, you know, just be able to live in peace. But unfortunately, this world is so stinking wicked, and we have people that are willing to kill us, that are willing to rob us, that are willing just for a paycheck. That's the world we live in. So every single day, we got to be on guard. Every single day.
Oh, they're right there. They'll rob you for a paycheck very quickly.
Every day we have to have our cameras ready to film the police. Do you think that I want that? I would love it if I could walk out the door and be like, you know what? I don't have to have my camera. These cops, all of them are going to do the right thing. But I know that I was arrested while filming the police in Anaheim. So I know what the police can do. It's unfortunate, man. So I just encourage you guys, you know, to call out your fellow officer. Get rid of the police union that helps you to basically be above the law. Be accountable. Be accountable. You know, and don't stand up for evil. Don't stand up for your fellow officer if he's doing evil. Because there's a good chance now you're going to go down with him. There's a good chance that if you stand up for evil, you're going to go down with the evil. You're going to get exposed. It's not worth it. Do the right thing. Because God's watching. Thank you.
You know, we're all watching you now too. Not only do you know, should you be watching yourselves, but we watch you now and we record what you do. And we make sure we share it with people. We don't wait until your cam footage comes out, you know, months or even a year later. We pay attention when it's happening and we film you. And we're not going to stay quiet about that.
And at least our footage will be fully full. We'll have pieces.
And what I want to say to the ones in the front there, you're really young. I'm sure you weren't here, you know, a few years ago. And I'm pretty sure you're young enough to go back to school and have a career that you can be proud of.
It's a joke to that bitch in the front.
It's not too late. You don't want to make this your career where you're killing people or watching your partners kill people and having to cover up. And I like to say to the brown officer over there, he kept getting a little more inching away until he was way over there. So, yeah, well, anyways, just, you know, become something that you can be a hero for. I mean, if you can't, you know, go and tell a little boy, I'm sorry for what we did, you know, what my coworker did, you know, maybe you should go and be, you know, medical assistant or you know, a nurse or a teacher or something, you know. I mean, where you don't have to cover up for your coworkers. Yeah, yeah, you know what? He should come out here and say he's sorry. You know, all those kneeling cops we've been seeing on Facebook, you know, they're so sorry. Kind of like, you know, let me beat up my wife and give her some flowers, that kind of thing. But, you know, if you're really, you know, if you really have any feelings, you should come out and say you're sorry to him. Because I was just wrong to ignore him.
Change will come. I was born in the city of Anaheim, and I've lived here my entire life. And change will come because it's what the people demand. We don't look for the elected people to do much because they're just going to bide their time until it's time to move to another office. But it's the people that will continue to march, the people that will continue to ask for change, and we will get our change. And you can guarantee that, because the people we will not leave, we will not give up, because unfortunately, one of you here or somebody across the country is going to kill somebody. And if it hasn't happened already, I haven't checked the news in the last hour, but it will be, we will be back. We will be back. And as long as you pretend to ignore us, pretend to act like it's the status quo, that's the worst position you could ever be in, is to just pretend blindly like nothing's going on. Because I have more faith in the people on this side of the barricade than I could of anybody in Congress or the Senate. It's just, it's the people that will make the change.
Every time we're talking, I start remembering some things. I just want to let you know. And so I got a lot of years, and I've been out in the streets walking, not afraid of any neighborhood. Went in there one night in Jeffrey Lynn, back in the 90s. 3 officers had their guns out, up to 3 young boys, dressed them down to their boxers. Were slapping them in the face and had the guns and dry clicking it. We're standing right there, my partner and I were standing right there watching it. Saw these kids dressed so fast. Those officers left and the gang enforcement came. They took their picture. See it. So nobody's telling me. I've seen these things. But when those young kids, I saw them the next day. We had a fair where we had the police even come. I'm going to tell you something. I saw these kids and I caught them and I told them. They didn't want to admit it. But what scared me was I saw their eyes roll back when a police car went by. Literally in shock. And all these kids that I talk to in the streets and see what you do. And they're just afraid. They don't tell. Now they're probably in their 30s and 40s. And they still don't tell because they're scared. So every time you guys go in the neighborhoods, I hope and pray that you're thankful for those kids not to tell on you that you take in a corner and beat. You're supposed to be an officer, a peace officer that does his duty. You know that. And some of your top brass a long time ago told me, don't call us all bad. Call them by their names. So a lot of people don't know your name, so they can't. And if you're not going to talk, that's why we're saying you're involved in it. And you know you are. You do know, because a lot of your own officers come and talk to me and say, we can't speak. We can't say nothing. I got documents, I got pictures, I got things I never showed anybody because I didn't know anybody to go to give it to. But you guys never dialogued with the people here. Just let you guys know that. If you haven't been around us, you don't talk to us. You talk to organizations that don't have nothing to do with us. They don't even live with us. They don't know what's going on in our street when we open our door and we see what's happening and we got no one to call on and nobody to help us. Because you guys work together. You squash these organizations. We know the internal. A lot of us here are older. We know what's going on. We tried many years over and over to reach our hand. If you don't know, we try to reach our hands out to you. And look what happened. You know what you guys can't do. And you're not holding them accountable, man. We got to start working together. But I want you to understand this. My main thing before I stop is please respect those young kids that don't tell on you. Give them a break. Because of the officers, I would go to them. I never took them to city council and blasted them out. I told them, please stop. They don't tell on you. And guess what? Some of those officers said thank you, and they stopped doing what they were doing. What kind of situation do we have to have? What kind of dialogue can we have? Your brass won't talk to me and won't talk to my friends, won't talk to us. So don't be angry at us when we came out and you guys got on the force and don't know the past. That because we yell at you, you don't want a relationship with us. You're supposed to be strong enough to take our yelling at you. You want to get the criminal, but you don't have to be judge, jury, and executioner, and which we see or videotape. So you guys can see and you guys can read. I don't know. It's up to you guys to do your thing. So at least you guys came out and stood there to take this. So we'll see what happens after this. We'll see if your brass will come out and speak to us, knowing that they won't. Why won't you talk to us? Ask yourself that. Tell your bosses, why don't you talk to that guy? Why don't you try to work with it? We need a better life here with this community. We need to work with them. I'm still waiting. I don't bite. I shook your chief's hand. That was Chief Baker. He got fired.
He had a heart attack and died, remember? I wonder why.
Well, I don't know why he died, if he did die, but I'll tell you this. I shook his hand, and I said, you were just put like an alley cat. Some organizations don't speak for us. They might have yelled at you and called you, and now you're hating us. But we're the victims. Those were just speakers that don't talk for us. I didn't give them permission to talk for my neighborhood. They did it, and they got mad at you, and now you hate us because of them. And all lives matter. All these Mexican lives and white kids that got killed. So we got to have that. We're all for everybody here.
You know, I'm just wondering why you have the streets shut down and there's all of you there. And look how many are here. There's not very many. Are we the scary people? Do we scare you? I mean, look at us. We are mostly impacted family. I mean, that really shows something that you're afraid of us, right?
Literally got us surrounded. I fear for my life. No,
over here. Don't shoot.
Don't shoot. We don't got
These sidewalks are public fucking sidewalks. Okay, there are no signs telling us why these blocks are here. You guys do shit like this all the time. Push the limits on the public. And all the while, we have the right to fucking walk on that sidewalk if we want to. We have the right to go down that street if we want to. Just because you say that we can't,
Well, here we are
that
in
is not a fucking thing. Okay? You depend on our participation and our submission. It's bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. I'm standing right here. What's gonna fucking happen to me? This is my right to stand right here. I'm not blocking traffic. I'm not blocking fucking traffic. What are you gonna do?
You need like fucking 5 of them. No fucking money and 4 of you, really? Here it comes.
Why? 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 There's no signs here. When was it announced? Who announced it? The helicopters? Because not everybody here heard anything like that.
It's a good time to apologize to the affected families.
Safety for who? You and your fucked up minions?
A safety peace zone? Look at your fucking weapon! We're unarmed!
Fucking cowards! No shit!
These are our streets!
Our street!
Whose street?
Our street!
Whose street?
Our street!
Whose street?
Our street!
You pussies! You guys want to fight? You want to go to war? Join the motherfucking military, asshole! Oh, you did already! Fuck you!
Purpose 9 o'clock.
We have the right to assemble and protest peacefully.
9 o'clock!
We're talking.
9 o'clock curfew! Sorry!
I don't speak big!
Is standing on the other side of this wall deemed violent? Is that what you're saying? You guys are fucking cowards!
Cowards!
No shit! Look at you!
A woman who is unarmed with a microphone and a camera in her hand steps across the line, and you guys come 4 deep to come arrest her. Fully armed. There's something fucking wrong with that. Can't hear what you're saying.
We don't speak big!
You need a better PA.
You get your commander out here right now, your chief. We're going to ask him and we're going to talk to him. We want him to say it to us. Chief Cisneros, wherever you are, get over here. Talk to us, people. I have a right to talk to my leadership here. Get him out right now. That's a bunch of crap, you guys. Come on. Man, did he got you that bad? Come on. I can't believe this.
I have never seen in my 60 plus years of life living in this county a bunch of little pussies.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I said it. Motherfuckers are armed over there with all kinds of weapons. Got bags for it. So what do we have?
Posters!
Posters, cameras. We're not armed. These streets don't belong to you.
No justice, no peace. No racist police.
No justice, no peace!
No racist police.
No justice, no peace!
No justice, no racist
We had to do this at city council.
Okay. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Brianna! Whose street? Our street! Whose street? Our street! Go in the other side of the rail!
You have one of the safest jobs in this fucking country.
We paid for that rail!
Notice one leg over there and scared you power-hungry fucks. You're fucking hard. Literally hard.
This is the smallest group that has gathered in Anaheim in the last 4 days. And look at
Chicken
what they've
shit,
done.
motherfuckers,
These
just
are
looking
mothers.
for something
These are family
to arrest
members.
people, aren't
Of
you?
people who've been killed.
Safety
And
my
they're more
ass.
afraid of us.
Throw parts.
Our department is guilty!
Now twist that here. There's 12 cops in you here. 40% of all cops think they're liars. Which one of you are the 40%? Hit the history, raise your hand. Which one of you are lying?
You guys remember why we're here, you guys?
Yeah, George Floyd!
Solidarity with George Floyd and everybody that supports him, because Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Blue lives are not a thing!
No,
Blue lives are not real!
no people in
Black Lives Matter!
Black Lives Matter!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd!
Say his name!
George Floyd! I can't breathe! I can't breathe! In the name of the people, for your own safety, get off that grass! This is your final warning! You will be!
No justice, no peace! No racist police!
Go all killers! All y'all! I can't wait to meet the man that killed Davey on Emmanuel December 12, 2019! Go shot him 6 times! Unarmed! You won't get away with this! You will not! I don't get you! We will! You want to be a little scared ass little bitch? I'm coming! You guys want to march? You guys want to march?
Why you laughing? This ain't no game.
Maybe they'll have this. I was bullied in school, that's why. I was bullied in
She
school.
has little woman syndrome.
For real.
Little woman syndrome.
That's probably the pig that killed my husband. I'm smiling.
Don't believe when they leave. Look at this fucker. Laughing in our face.
Laughing like something's funny.
We got kids here that were affected by the fucked up police department, and they're laughing. The same way Daniel Gonzalez, the sergeant that ordered to keep Vincent in a chokehold that killed them, laughing
I
on
know all
Facebook
4 of the
Live.
Benelab victims, and I have video too.
Wake up, people. Wake up.
We know a lot more about Benelab, but I also want to do some work about the union, about how much money the victims are for. We can support some social things.
As the president, with all the racial scrutiny they've had over here. You know what I mean?
It's all on my shoulder. Like, I don't think that's weird. Literally, all these cops out here for what? For what? Right there, down there, down there.
In the trash can. And when you do it, I'm the trash man. I'm pretty sure that they won't catch us if we creep up from the back end. So purgatory when you go to court. Them you ain't get to pick the jury, tell them don't shoot, don't shoot. When you see them, tell them don't shoot, don't shoot. I'm trying to tell you this is social purgatory. Them you ain't get to pick the jury, tell them don't shoot. When you see them, tell them don't shoot.
Hey, just to move me for a run. Don't mess with her. Don't mess with her. Don't mess with her, no. Her son was killed. Please don't hurt her.
Please go back on the other side.
We're just asking you to go back on the other side.
Shut up, kid.
I want you to look. I want you to look.
We can see it, man.
And just so you know, this is going to be the new norm. Will you continue to do what you do?
Hey, officers! Officers! Compromise! The lady's hurting. Just walk to her.
Talk to her. Talk to her. Look at him.
Bring
Look
it.
at him. Sir, stay with you. Compassion in him. Look at him. Look at him.
Pray and leave her alone.
These fucking cops for two people. What law says that we can't cross this line?
I appreciate how Can you acknowledge me? Look.
You're gonna shoot somebody. Oh yeah, now we got a line here, huh?
Is that what you want to do to people?
Why do we can't cross this line? What's the legal code?
They got no legal nothing.
Are you gonna answer my question? What was funny? What was funny?
Oh no, you gotta
What was
have
funny?
a gun, don't you?
What was funny?
Yeah.
So you're gonna acknowledge him, but not acknowledge me. What was funny then? What was funny? Why were you last? What was funny? You have guns.
You over there. Bunch of.
Am I gonna hurt you? Because I'm
Look at you
stepping
guys.
on this side of
Question,
the
is this what you
law.
signed up for? This is a community.
Oppressors.
This is a community of young people. People have seen your shit for years. People that you have murdered their children. This is our community. This is what you've made us.
Yeah,
We
you
want to talk to you about these officers right here. Nick Banalak. You guys know Nick Banalak? We need him on the other side of the fucking rail, big time. Well, there it goes. I'm going to be subject to arrest right now. Oh, God.
Let him have it. Let him have it.
Oh, fuck them, dude. They know who these people are.
Have it. That's what we want.
So just know, as you shake your head and all this and that, these are the people that we know are murderers that work with you. And just know, every time you racially profile one of the people that live in this community, you're going to have this kind of backlash. It's going to be huge. Oh, look at it. They're going to send 50 fucking pigs for a lady. That's cool, man. Huh? Get your helmets on, guys. They got a microphone. Hey, we could always count on you guys, huh? There's no riot here. Guess who's dressed for one? So what exactly are you guys doing? Are you guys out here protesting for George Floyd as well, or I mean, what are you guys doing? What a joke, man. These guys are a joke. There's more cops than there is protesters. I think we should rush them.
They got helmets.
They have helmets, you're right. Got a really good strategy here. We got the backup guys, got zip ties.
You got face shields, rubber bullets. Yeah, please do, dude.
Hey, let me be real with y'all. Out of all the professions, your profession has one of the highest suicide rates, one of the highest prescription drug abuse rates, one of the highest divorce rates. You can end all that right now. You can end your unhappy home life because of all the home lives you've made unhappy. Find another fucking job. You now have experience to change. Especially people of color on the force. Oh my fucking God, I'm so sorry for you guys. So fucking sorry.
You guys have backup? We don't even have weapons. We're just trying to make justice for all the people that you guys killed. The innocent people that you guys killed. And we're trying to make justice and you guys have backup. We don't even have weapons.
So yeah, our children are more attuned to a lot of Americans right now. But I think some of you on the force, you guys already know. Some of you are waiting for another job. Some of you, you've already bought a house, you're in a mortgage, you're kind of stuck. You can't get another job, I get it. But what you can do is start snitching on other cops. You can start changing from the inside, as unlikely as that is. You could be one of those people. Do you feel bad? Any of you, any people of color on the force? Do you guys feel bad right now?
Yo, they're the worst one.
That's the thing about total institutions. They took away everything that you believed in before. Now you back the blue or black or whatever it is. I think it's the blue line.
These white cops don't even appreciate you, bro. No.
Gavin Newsom's watching. Wait.
Her too. These cops don't care about you either. Oh, girl, they don't.
Go to beauty school. You got the hours.
Yeah. Put your
They
bags
keep their
down,
happy.
bro. Y'all know you're not doing the right thing. Put your bags down. You know you're not doing the right thing.
Oh, I remember you. I've seen your videos.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't seen mine, huh?
What's that?
You ain't seen mine, huh?
Probably not.
Here you go, record me. I'm gonna go over there and jump on him, okay?
Yeah, right.
A human bomb. I'm just gonna leap and fly over there and land on all of them. Because I have superhuman powers. In the name of the good Lord and sky above, may all of you have a very unpleasant life. What the hell is with all those people back there, huh?
Against the policy.
Look at this. This is just unbelievable.
All the officers. Yeah.
There was a victory. No money was
One more time. Human bomb. Somebody throw me at him, dude. I'm old. I'll risk myself.
One more time, let's have a revival. Who wants to quit their job today? There are other industries which are thriving. You can find another good life. You can even find your self-righteous sense of purpose in helping people and actually help people. Work as a case manager in a homeless shelter. I don't know. You can find something else. Work as a teacher.
Help the youth.
Right? Why police officer? What happened to you in high school?
They're bullied. They're bullied.
And I don't want to make fun light of bullying, but yeah, I think you guys, something happened. Because this isn't normal. Okay? It's not normal to go back to work after you killed 4 people. Okay? Where are you guys going? Shift change? Shift change.
Retreat! Retreat!
Retreat?
Yeah. To the left. Up.
Next donuts are ready.
Come on now. You don't get your smart sloppy like that. Just up. Let's go. Again.
Go to Disneyland. The bikes are waiting for you. That will be your trip for tonight.
Some of these people have had their family members killed by police in Anaheim. That's why many of them are very angry at the police.
Say his name! Say his name!
George Floyd! George Floyd!
George Floyd!
George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd!
Hey, we should move into another area so they screw up their little pitch. They're trying to pitch us off. Let's go over there and maybe they're gonna try to squeeze us in.
Well, they've been there all the time, pretty much.
Breonna Taylor!
Breonna Taylor!
Breonna Taylor!
Breonna Taylor!
Breonna Taylor! Happy birthday, Breonna! Rest in peace!
Well, they have guys over here. They don't like that. No, I swear, they don't like us. Beat us up. They know we're not the kids in the street in the schools. They don't want to touch those little kids. We're the criminals for them that killed our loved ones. So they like to beat us up. Come in like that. Make a mockery that we don't give them a good run. Technically, moving to another area, and then they're going to say, shit, we gotta reach
Are you guys down to march to City Hall? Okay. We don't have a lot of numbers. We don't have a lot of people with us, so let's stick together. Okay? Yeah, let's stick together. Watch out for each other. Okay?
How far away is City Hall?
We won't be gone so much. Can you put some music on while I do?
Not far.
Not that far. It's right down this way. Alright. It's not that far. It's about, I don't know, we can get there.
2-3 blocks.
2-3 blocks.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I thought you were saying got put. I was like, hold on. I'm not here to let them know that they ain't gonna let them kill my husband. That's what's going on out here.
Come on, Lexus, you got it!
Remind them. Leave it. Are we leaving them? Us? Yeah.
Anaheim, California. It's really sad. So many have died in Anaheim by the hands of the police. Please share the video. Do join Racial Justice Warriors for Christ on Facebook. Also Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, I can't let you. Man, we better not put a hand on her. That's not right, man.
Which side are you going, boy? Which side are you going, my boy? Which side are you going, boy? Which side are you going? See, I gotta draw a line, I can't take it no more. If you ain't down with revolution, what you waiting for? Making money for suckers and not communities poor. Ripping flags off of coffins, man, this ain't our war. Colonizers, they're rise by the world's biggest killers. The US government, the biggest weapon and drug dealers. Filling prisons with children incarcerated in the future. MySpace and Facebook got us stuck on computers. Stuck on stupid bumping music that's abusive to the shorties. And the nonsense that you're speaking, they just listen and absorbing. I've been dormant, I've been working, I'm a giant, I'm ready. I'm like that apple with a hot guy and we holding the shit. I rock hard like Palace Speeding, children holding slingshots. I'm every single kid that's down for hip-hop, for the culture, the life, what it really stands for. This music is resistance, it's the voice of the poor. I'm on the side of the workers, the teachers, and unshaded. On the street for brown mothers, raising out brown babies. I'm with you, organ. Cleaning up the Bronx River. I'm like Ryan Misgalante when I stand and deliver. I'm with Evo Morales, Manny Bunny, Bolivia. Distribution of the land so we can all live bigger. I'm with Ugo and Fidel, Grandmaster and Manny Mel. I'm with the Panthers up in King, Justice for Sean Bell. I'm with the Macho Negron, with the head of Rios. Freedom bros, got off the time to get in the pill. I'm with the Blue Jamal, I'm with the Sada Shakur. I'm with the Compas in the walk, and he getting a penny more.
Pretty tense times we're living in America. There's definitely a great divide between the haves, the have-nots, the minorities and the non-minorities. Thank God for those that aren't even minorities, but they see the need to get involved and help. Thank God for those people. salute. Just here to be a voice for the oppressed of this world. Those murdered in handcuffs. Murdered in handcuffs. Everyone should be irate about that. I'm so glad that so many are irate about that. Murdered in handcuffs. This was actually a really good opportunity to share some things with the officers that maybe they needed to hear. Especially when it comes to God's Word. It's a great opportunity. Let's pray that the seeds planted bear much fruit. That righteousness reigns in our courts and police departments. Yeah, we can wait a little bit. Yeah, I'd probably wait.
Guys, we're gonna wait. We're gonna wait for the group to catch up.
Why do you see me as such a threat? Is that why my community you don't protect? And you wonder why we never show you no respect? What you really need to do is put yourself in check.
Injustice for peace!
No racist police!
Injustice!
No racist police!
Injustice for peace!
No racist police!
Injustice for peace!
No racist police!
Injustice for peace!
The
American comeback has begun. Injustice for no peace.
No racist police.
No justice, no peace.
No racist police.
No justice, no peace.
No racist police.
Spin the block and we'll be right back. 7 cops down, they don't like that. This Baltimore City, bitch, we fight back. Lock my mans up and he'll be right back. I'd rather bear arms and throw my hands up. Oh, we about to send the troops in. When the sun goes down, we'll be right back. Right back. Right back. All my comrades,
get it.
Right back. Right back. Right back. Grab the gas mask, we'll be right back. Right back. Right back. Fuck the curfew, we'll be right back. Yeah, they made it first. The word is we'll be right back. Cops killing us, now they blaming us. Why the hell you think the city flaming up? Cops posted at the mall though. Oh, I guess my life ain't got a price tag. Yeah, y'all done opened up the right man. I'm talking all black with the black man. I just ordered them some soda pains. Ready for whatever, boy, you know it's bad. Throw it at a cop car, burnt up. They done got the whole hood worked up. I see a heat wave, yelling surfs up. Baltimore City, where we turned up. Fight back, fight back. Fuck the system, we don't need a system. Fight back, fight back. Fuck the days of whoever system. Right back, right back. All my comrades will be right back. Right back, right back. The whole west side will be right back. Right back, right back. The whole east side will be right back. Right back, right back. Fuck the curfew, we'll be right back. Yeah. Comrade. Right back. Right back.
Hey, hold up. This is my side right here.
Oh man, the live stream's gonna be in trouble. Our live stream will probably get jacked up if I go over there. I think it might be.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Waiting for Louise.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! George Floyd! George Floyd! George Floyd!
George Floyd.
Oh, with the sign. City Hall.
Well, let me know if the live stream.
I'm minding my business, officer. I'm minding my business. Please just leave me alone. I told you the last time. Please leave me alone.
We want the officer who did the choke, as well as the officer who stood around. Now, why the fuck you talking cops?
Well,
so hands up, still getting shot.
live stream gets bad, let me know. Hopefully it's not too bad.
On that bullshit, I've been turned up all day, busting shots. Ever since my ground went down my whole city like fuck a cop. Run the red like fuck a stop. Bust his head when you broke the clock. Got my bread
I think it's important that we overcome evil with good. That's what God tells us. Overcome evil with good.
Right in front of this motherfucker. But that got like 10 of them popped in. Last night, another one of them dropped. We don't do no peace treaties, no black down, no conflict. Get these niggas out quick, but the deal make me want shit like you want war? Okay.
Now why the fuck you calling the cops? Put your hands up, you still getting shot. Here they come now, they out on patrol. Gonna kill the few, gonna kill some more. Man, who the fuck is down 911?
Let me know if the stream is not working too good. Sometimes it gets bad when I come over to the city hall.
Now who the fuck is down 911?
Stomp them out with both feet. They gon' patch them up like a slow leak. Rest in peace to Ezel. Middle finger to the police. Fuck y'all with no grief. No justice, no peace. They get my ground like coaches. Ain't nobody getting no sleep. Not in saying we ignorant. Fuck is you rolling with me? My hoodie on like Trayvon. I'ma give Zimmerman a business. Where I go, my nigga follow. Hollow points thrown like a scholar. It's go time, showtime. Get capped like the Apollo. I'm trapped out like fuck y'all. I don't buy by this gun law. But you won't do me like Eric Garden if you kept smoking on my cigar. My hands up and you pull your pistol. Just cause I'm a hood nigga, this bullshit gon' full flip you. Hard shit.
Put your hands up, you still getting shot. Here they come now, they out on patrol. Gonna kill the few, they're finna kill some more. Man, who the fuck is down 911? Now who the fuck is down 911? See the lights flashing, now here they come. Now who the fuck is down 911?
Once again, police beating up on people. Back up right here. Back up, nigga, don't understand. Okay. All he did was break up a fight. And this happens for breaking up a fight.
This is a disgrace. This catastrophe in this city. And we intend
Take that thing off your mouth.
Please share the video. Do join Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook. Also, Racial Justice Warriors for Christ on Facebook. Pray for the end of racism in our police department. Yeah, man.
homeless advocate for Christ. Just like it says in the brochure.
Wish I had a brochure, but yeah.
Facebook.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a live brochure.
Yeah.
Why am I wearing this thing? The Anaheim Dentistry. It's going to be, online. Okay, it'll still be online.
Anaheim, California. Pray for Anaheim. A little bit smaller crowd today. But you know there's a lot all over the world with the same heart. Pretty diverse community here in Anaheim. We have a lot of Latino, Caucasian, not an immense amount of African Americans. Of course, I'm half African American. But we got a lot of activist-minded people in Orange County, I could say. From all races and all places.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
Look at this cute dog. Look at that. That's the cutest dog I ever seen. How's the live stream, everybody? Is live stream okay? Look at that dog. I love that dog.
You're the cutest little dog! You're so cutie, 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 cutie! Look at the cutie dog! He's such a cute dog!
What's your dog's name?
Name's
Gigi?
Gigi.
Yeah. So cute, Gigi! Oh, the beautiful dog! He's a beautiful dog, yeah! He's a beautiful dog!
You know who Lou Noble is?
I kind of got him involved in Work with him. Yeah,
He got arrested too.
yeah, we got arrested together filming the cops.
When was that?
In Anaheim. This was 2000, I think it was 15 or 16, I can't remember what year it was.
The
But
police will interact with the homeless. And he gets catching a lot of these people on Facebook.
Say his name!
I was out here in 2013, that's when I first started filming. And actually, I first started doing it in Vegas. Vegas where they're really bad to the homeless. For years I was protesting there, got arrested a lot there. Then I came down in 2013. So, yeah, I've been
So it's still bad out there, huh? I imagine.
Vegas, yeah, they've still been protesting.
Terrible, huh?
Yeah. I mean, I haven't been there for a while, but yeah, I don't know what. Maybe they
Well, I
made
have a
some
couple
changes.
friends who live out there, and they say
Yeah.
that it's pretty crazy stuff.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me, man. Yeah, it's messed up. Sad situation, man.
Yeah, really bad. Man. Anaheim PD was really expecting to beat us up, huh?
All right, there's about 50 of them for 20 protesters or something. So, you see some of the buildings are boarded up out here. We're not planning to loot anybody. That's not my my desire. Just to be out here, be a voice for the oppressed, people that have been wrongfully killed. Justice!
When do we want it?
Now!
What we want is accountability. What do we want? What do we want? Accountability. What we want is accountability. What do we want? What do we want? What do we want it for? We want accountability for George Floyd and all the other people, all the other human beings across the nation who have lost their lives to terrorist police.
Yeah. Open those churches. Some support. Got some support out here. Black Lives Matter. George Floyd.
Say his name! Say his name! Say his name!
George Floyd! Say her name! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor! Breonna Taylor!
thing's funny.
Abolish the police! Please. Abolish the police! Defund 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 the police!
He tried to ice grill me, but I just kept moving. I heard him tell his partner that if he smacked, shoot him. So I turned around and started to step to him. He said, put your hands up. They were about the handcuffs. I looked at him like, man, what you really did is straight. Put your hands up, 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 put your hands up. I let the guy look up my toes up on Illuminati. Yes, you know what's it, depends on who the guy be. Some go Republican, now I can't lose the movement, but the guy's the
So these are all the names of people that police have killed. It's quite a long list. George Floyd, Caesar Cruz, David Raya, Roscoe Cambridge, Justin Hurdle, Joe Whitehouse, Bernie Villegas, Martin Hernandez, Joy Acevedo. That's Donna's son that was, she's the one that jumped over the barrier. I went over there with her. Monique Decker. All these other names. Like a trail of blood. This isn't even all of them.
All those lists like cool silence, they like bonus elections. And you are not no damn notice, pay all the selection. It's the most wanted, but those on our pay, they listen to
Oh, she's back. That's funny.
Stay like your dog back there.
Oh, bless you. Thank you.
When I can see a lot better too, I'm driving, and I can't say too much promises, but we need, I know, Stanton, you're over there, or what? You hanging out?
I go there a lot.
Okay. Yeah, I have a little Carucci car, you know. I want to help, but I got to do this. This is my...
I do both. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not one or the other.
Yeah.
Where's the next protest, you guys?
I think there's one tomorrow in maybe Huntington Beach, possibly.
Oh, those guys get the damn gravy. You got to go on Facebook. There was closing off their beach, and the guy puts his hands on the fence. One guy, oh, I ain't moving. And then they go, you got 5 minutes. 20 minutes goes by. I'm not moving. They didn't do nothing to them. They didn't threaten those people.
I was there. I took a live stream of it.
Huh?
I was there. I was doing live stream.
Oh, wow.
It was crazy. I started shooting at us eventually.
I'm talking about where the city council never came. The city council, yeah, it was a little private beach thing.
Oh, that's different.
Oh, different. The sheriff, but it was the racist people. They were doing it. They fucking treated them like fucking gold. Yeah. Yeah! That's why I told them to move, because see, it throws it off. I think they were going to pinch us off.
Yeah.
And here we got out of their area.
Yeah.
You got to think. I took law, and I took tailing and being followed. I took all that course. I passed. I was doing my gun test. That's when they fucking attacked me. I got injured. I was trying to be a cop, and they were trying to get me in the back room, but they were fucking stabbing me. So some of my buddies told me, "Fuck, you're getting fucked, Artie. You ain't gonna become a cop here. They don't want your ass here." Like I said, you know, it took to kill my brother, kill my friends, but I still wanted to be a cop. So I wanted to do good to my community.
Yeah.
And then the good cops fucking left real quick when they got on Anaheim. As soon as they got their recruit, they left. And then I worked with some cops, the gang enforcement, and in other cities.
Yeah.
And they told me, Artie, come and help these young kids. There's some good ones. Just they don't want to be told. And they did it behind their own departments in the back. So there's some good ones. I just can't say their name. But Steve Nolan came out and he told the truth and he got fired. And nobody's fucking saying that. You got you one of your own. You fucking backstab them. Stick it in their ass. Stick it in their ass. And that black guy, the union guy, what's his name? Edgar Hampton. Next time I see him and say, hey, I didn't know who you were because I don't know who you are. But I heard you got rid of one of your own. You didn't defend Steve Nolan. And he was found innocent. So that makes you a liar, sir. How do you look at that, sir? What do you got to say about that? And I know what happened in that court here. You guys didn't get to hear. The attorneys told me some shit. They were fucking strong-armed. He still won. They were strong. They told me, look at evidence not to be put out. They got the two witnesses, told them they couldn't speak. His partners, the ones that saw it too. How can a guy have a good trial? And then the chief was on trial, Gaston, and the guy Gaston, he was our chief at the time. He was jogging and he died, and I started United Neighborhoods, and they said the group United Neighborhoods caused his death. Oh shit! The guy said, Artie, you killed him. He had stress on him, but he was in the courtroom doing this, telling the officers what to say. And I said to the guys at lunch, I said, hey, look at Mr. Gaston, what he's doing. I think he's signaling to the officers for the answers. And then that guy goes, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, if you look over here and see Chief Gaston signaling to the officers, and then he turned around, and I'm the only one in the fucking courtroom, fucking looked right at me, you motherfucker. And my friend, yeah, we're going. But hey, man,
yeah, it's good seeing you, man.
I'll see you on Facebook about it.
Yeah.
I just gotta get my eye fixed.
What's wrong with your eye? Looks like we're wrapping up, folks, here in Lovely Anaheim. A lot of people died in Anaheim, man. A lot of people have relatives and family members killed by the police. They're not happy, as you can see. I think we're heading out. I think we're gonna wrap up. Anyways,
He's gonna come back around.
oh, he is with the truck. Okay.
Very much for the use of your sign.
Yeah, no.
And there's another.
Thank you for coming out with us.
I wanted to get arrested, but I don't want to arrest you. I didn't think I would be arrested.
Let's see something. Bless you.
Bye. Thank you
Nice
for
to
your
meet you.
appreciation.
Thank you. Gosh, so sorry for the loss. Poor thing.
Whenever there's anything like a school issue, a police issue, a rental issue, talk to Donna. We're advocates.
So that young girl's father was killed by the police here in Anaheim. Let me shut this. Let's see.
Do your advocating. We need something that we need a communication here. I used to have a hotline on my phone number. Oh, I'm sorry, my son got in trouble. And can we find out what you're saying? Maybe he needs to be disciplined, but we want to make sure we're not going to ruin this kid's life. Guess what? If nothing happened, let him go. You know, because we're there. Look,
That's nice.
our presence. So don't be afraid and call us out for help. Call Donna if you know Donna out. John, Donna, somebody. We all come to your aid. You know what I mean? We need your eyes and ears to hear them. Somebody say, I don't know if they got my son, or I don't know. So we know, because schools can't tell them. We have to find out who somebody's saying. Everybody knows. The city goes in your neighborhood and starts doing code violations. Find out, hey, what are you doing that for? That might be illegal. Just to come to the answer and like, try to stay on low. They can give you a ticket. Hey, I'm going to pay him. When it was valid.
Right.
So be careful.
Yeah. Are you
going
gonna watch it?
We're both coming this way.
Oh! Because I think Vincent was walking with your son, so I thought you were walking that way.
Oh,
It's okay, we'll walk. We're not too far.
okay.
Bye.
Hey! She's my best. I love that voice. All I want to say is I had a break in hell. That's Josh. Yeah.
I don't know how to shut this thing. How do I do this?
Yeah, when I get better, I gotta start going to the school board meetings, union, and the city, and watch their asses, and they try to fucking do something. I did Dwayne, when we do it, we catch him on some fraud. Dwayne's always helping me.
So we're wrapping up, folks. Do join Homeless Advocates for Christ on Facebook. Also check out Racial Justice Warriors for Christ on Facebook. Share the video.
Are we going that way then? Yeah, we're walking back. I have to go back to Citron and Broadway.
Oh, thank you.
If my car's still there.
Bless you, Donna. You're welcome.
Good night.
Yeah. Good to see you. Yeah. Renee, you know how to stop a live stream on YouTube? I can't figure. There's no like stop. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, be safe, guys.
You too, man. Thank you.
Good to see you guys. Take care. Take care.
Thanks for your support.
You want me to leave this here?
Yeah, or you guys can.
I can, yeah. Might be better use for another protest.
Another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you guys. Nice to meet you guys. It's out of nowhere. Oh, that's it. Thanks, man. Figured it out. I thought that might just close everything. I didn't think that would work. Okay, that's cool. Cool. Right, I'm out, everybody. Thanks for watching.